Runnymede is a water meadow alongside the River Thames in the English county of Surrey, and just over 20 miles west of central London. It is notable for its association with the sealing of Magna Carta, and as a consequence is, with its adjoining hillside, the site of memorials. Runnymede Borough is named after the area, Runnymede being at its northernmost point. Topography. The name Runnymede refers to land in public and national trust ownership in the Thames floodplain southwest of the river between Old Windsor and Egham. The area includes the Longmead and Runnymede, which together with Cooper's Hill slopes is managed by the National Trust. There is also a narrower strip of land, east of the road and west of the river, known as the Yard Mead. Slightly further downstream from the areas shown on the map are, a recreational area with a car park, a number of private homes, a large distribution centre, and an hotel. The landscape of Runnymede is characterised as Thames Basin lowland, urban fringe. It is a gently undulating vale of small fields interspersed by woods, shores, ponds, meadows, and heath. The National Trust area is a site of nature conservation interest which contains a site of special scientific interest. Both sites are overseen by Runnymede Borough Council. The National Trust holding includes 188 acres donated in 1929 set behind a narrow riverside park with occasional benches on the southern river bank, with car and coach parking. 110 acres of broadleaved woodland on Cooper's Hill slopes, given in 1963 by the former Egham Urban District Council. Longmead is a meadow north of the ancient mead of Runnymede towards Old Windsor and has been used for centuries to provide good quality hay from the alluvial pasture. Runnymede itself lies towards Egham. It is likely that Runnymede proper was the site of the sealing of Magna Carta, although the Magna Carta Memorial stands on Longmead, and the event is also popularly associated with Magna Carta Island, on the opposite bank of the Thames. Near the island, on the northeast floodplain, in parkland on the eastern bank of the river, are Ankerrick and the ruins of the 12th century priory of St. Mary's. The Thames has changed course here occasionally, and these areas may once have been an integral part of Runnymede. Both were acquired by the National Trust in 1998. History. Runnymede's historical significance has been heavily influenced by its proximity to the Roman road river crossing at nearby Staines upon Thames. The name Runnymede may be derived from the Anglo-Saxon Runi egg and mead, describing a place in the meadows used to hold regular meetings. The Wittenagemet Council of the Anglo-Saxon kings of the 7th to 11th centuries was held from time to time at Runnymede during the reign of Alfred the Great. The council met usually in the open air. This political organ was transformed in succeeding years, influencing the creation of England's 13th century parliament. The water meadow at Runnymede is the most likely location at which, in 1215, King John sealed Magna Carta. The charter indicates Runnymede by name as Runnymede. Interwindle Sorame stands. Magna Carta had an impact on common and constitutional law as well as political representation, also affecting the development of Parliament. Runnymede's association with ideals of democracy, limitation of power, equality and freedom under law has attracted placement there of monuments and commemorative symbols. The last fatal duel in England took place in 1852, on Priest Hill, a continuation of Cooper's Hill by Windsor Great Park. The National Trust land was donated in 1929 by Cara Rogers Broughton and her two sons. The American-born widow of Urban Hanlon Broughton, she was permitted by letter from George V to join her son's new peerage in tribute to her husband in this gift and be officially styled Lady Fairhaven. The gift was given in memory of Urban Broughton. At the time the New Bedford Standard Times commented it must be a source of gratification to all Americans, and especially to us here and in Fairhaven, that the presentation of this historic spot as public ground has been brought about by an American woman, an appropriate enough circumstance considering that the Great Charter underlies the USA's conception of government and human rights. Features Urban H. Broughton Memorials After the death of Urban Broughton in 1929, Sir Edwin Lutyens was commissioned to design a set of twin memorials consisting of large kiosks and posts or piers with stone blocks crowned with laurel wreaths and formalised urns at the Egham end and with lodges and piers at the Windsor end. Lutyens also designed a low wide arch bridge to carry the main road over the Thames to the north, integrating the road layout and bridge design into his plans for the memorials. The southern kiosks were moved to their present location when the M25 motorway was constructed. There are two octagonal kiosks with piers facing each other across the A308 towards Egham. These piers are a shorter version of those adjacent to the lodges either side of the same road towards Old Windsor in the Long Mead. The lodges show typical Lutyens design features with steeply angled roofs, large false chimneys and no rainwater gutters at the eaves. The piers carry similar inscriptions. On one face is the inscription, and on the other the words. The memorials were opened in 1932 by the Prince of Wales and are Grade II listed buildings. Langham Pond SSSI Langham Pond was created when the meandering River Thames formed in Oxbow Lake. Its status as a wetland site of special scientific interest was first notified in 1975 and later reviewed under Section 28 of the Wildlife and Countryside Act 1981 when the protected area was extended to 64 acres within Runnymede as managed by the National Trust. The pond and associated meadow form a habitat considered unique in southern England and of international importance for nature conservation. The flora and fauna include nationally scarce plants and insects including a species of fly unrecorded elsewhere in the United Kingdom. Air Forces Memorial The Air Forces Memorial commemorates the men and women of the Allied Air Forces who died during the Second World War and records the names of the 20,456 airmen who have no known grave. From the top of the tower visitors can see long views over Windsor, the surrounding counties and aircraft taking off and landing at Heathrow. On a good day visitors can see as far as the Wembley Arch and even the Gherkin in the City of London. The memorial was designed by Sir Edward Mouffe, architect of Guildford Cathedral. John F. Kennedy Memorial The British Memorial for U.S. President John F. Kennedy was jointly dedicated in May 1965, by Queen Elizabeth II and Jacqueline Kennedy, prior to a reception for the Kennedy family at Windsor Castle. The memorial consists of a garden and Portland stone memorial tablet inscribed with a famous quote from his inaugural address. Visitors reach the memorial by treading a steep path of irregular granite steps, intended to symbolize a pilgrimage. There are 50 steps in total. Each step is different from all others, with the entire flight made from 60,000 hand-cut granite sets. Landscape architect Geoffrey Jellicoe designed the garden. Sculptor Alan Collins designed and carved the stone inscription. The area of ground on which the memorial is situated was given as a gift to the United States of America by the people of Britain. It is maintained by the Kennedy Memorial Trust, which also sponsors educational scholarships for British students to attend university in the United States. In 1968 the 7-ton stone was damaged by a bomb during a time of anti-Vietnam War demonstrations. It was later repaired by the sculptor. Magna Carta Memorial Situated in a grassed enclosure. On the lower slopes of Cooper's Hill, this memorial is of a domed classical-style monopteros, containing a pillar of English granite on which is inscribed to commemorate Magna Carta, symbol of freedom under law. The memorial was created by the American Bar Association to a design by Sir Edward Mouffe R.A., and was unveiled on July 18, 1957 at a ceremony attended by American and English lawyers. Since 1957 representatives of the ABA have visited and rededicated the memorial, renewing pledges to the Great Charter. In 1971 and 1985 commemorative stones were placed on the memorial plinth. In July 2000 the ABA came, in 2007, on its 50th anniversary, the ABA again visited Runnymede. During its convention it installed as President Charles Rhine, who devised Law Day, which in the USA represents an annual reaffirmation of faith in the forces of law for peace. In 2008 floodlights were installed to light the memorial at night. In 2015, in anticipation of the 800th anniversary of the sealing of Magna Carta, the two wooden benches at the memorial were replaced by stone benches. On June 15, the anniversary day, the ABA, accompanied by U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch, rededicated the memorial in a ceremony led by HRH the Princess Royal in the presence of Her Majesty the Queen and other members of the royal family. The Magna Carta Memorial is administered by the Magna Carta Trust, which is chaired by the Master of the Rolls. Ceremonial tree plantings. The Duke of Kent together with David K. Diebold, a minister councillor at the U.S. Embassy in London, planted an oak tree adjacent to the Magna Carta Memorial in 1987, as did P.V. Narasimha Rao, Prime Minister of the Republic of India. The Prime Minister left a plaque reading, "In 1987 two further oak trees were planted near the memorial. One, planted by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, marked National Tree Week. Another, planted by John O. Marsh, Secretary of the Army of the USA, has a plaque which reads, The Jurors The jurors' artwork was commissioned by Surrey County Council and the National Trust to mark the 800th anniversary of the sealing of Magna Carta. The sculptor Hugh Locke created 12 bronze chairs, each of which is decorated with symbols of past and present struggles for freedom, equality and the rule of law. The artist/sculptor invites participants to sit, reflect upon and discuss the themes represented. In the image, the back of the chair nearest the viewer is a representation of Nelson Mandela's prison cell on Robben Island, South Africa. The portrait scene of the further chair is of Lily Lenton wearing insignia related to the imprisonment and activism of suffragettes. The installation was inaugurated at Runnymede by Prince William during the Magna Carta 800th anniversary celebrations. Cooper's Hill House. A large house on Cooper's Hill, overlooking Runnymede and the River Thames, has played a number of roles as the Royal Indian Engineering College. Wartime Post Office headquarters. Storage for the statue of Eros during World War II. An emergency teacher training college. Shoreditch College. A centre for craft and handiwork education. And most recently, Brunel University's Design School. Ancarrick. The revered plus 1,400-year-old Ancarrick, on the left bank of the river, is also a possible site where Magna Carta may have been sealed. The sacred tree could have been the location of the Wooden Council and influenced the founding of St. Mary's Priory there. This religious site may well have been the preferred neutral meeting place of King John and the barons. Land development proposals threatening the ALll led to action resulting in the tree and surrounding estate passing into the protection of the National Trust in 1998. Henry VIII is said to have met Anne Boleyn under the tree in the 1530s. In 1992, botanist and environmental campaigner David Bellamy led a dedication at the U, stating, "There followed 10 pledges to sustain all life forms." Location and access. Runnymede is 20 miles west by southwest of the centre of London. It is owned by the National Trust and is open 24 hours, 7 days a week, at no charge. Runnymede is accessed via the road or river towpath on foot or by bicycle, or by motor vehicle via the A308 road near Egham about 4 miles southeast of Windsor. 2 car parks adjoin the Windsor entrance. Runnymede is also along the Thames Path National Trail. The nearest railway station is Egham. One of the Lochuns lodges at the Windsor entrance to the Meadow House is a popular tea room. The Ancarrick area on the other bank of the river is accessible from the B376 between Raysbury and Staines. Namesakes. Spain. Madrid, Spain, Runnymede College. Australia. Runnymede, Queensland, a rural locality near Nanango and Kingaroy. Runnymede, Victoria, a rural locality northeast of Bendigo. Runnymede, Tasmania, a village north of Richmond. Runnymede Group Proprietary Limited. Canada. London, Ontario, Runnymede Crescent, Toronto, Ontario, Runnymede Road. Runnymede Subway Station, Victoria, British Columbia, Runnymede Avenue St John's, Newfoundland Labrador, Runnymede Place. France. Joinville-le-Pont, Val-de-Marne, Île de France, France, Place de Runnymede. India. Ardagamandalam, Tamil Nadu, Runnymede Station. United States. Runnymede, New Jersey, Runnymede, Harper County, Kansas, Lake Runnymede, Windsor, Vermont. Notes and references. Notes. References. External links: Chisholm, Hugh, ed. Runnymede. Encyclopædia Britannica 23. Cambridge University Press. Pages 853. Runnymede information at the National Trust, Shoreditch College, information about the former Teachers College at Cooper's Hill House.